Good morning. Welcome to your Sunday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. The inaugural one from my new digs for an undetermined amount of time. Glad to have you here, and I look a whole lot better than I looked last night. I sent a picture of myself to a bunch of my friends, and they were like, oh my God. It was a rough day yesterday, but we all slept well and got a bunch of stuff unloaded, and today we're tackling the truck and trailer. So we'll see how it goes. And obviously this is a little later than usual, but we got to get a routine down yet. So I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist. Here were some words of wisdom for the day. And the one deck I can locate is the Nature Portals deck by Bruce and Carol Malner, but I think I know where the box is with the rest of them. Good morning, Betty. Welcome, welcome. So I'm sure there will be other card decks that I will be using as soon as I can figure out where they're packed. So we have a great card for today. It is this beautiful raptor, and a couple of nice deep breaths just to settle in. It's golden glow to me today. I think it's the yellow walls in the kitchen here. Broaden your perspective. Broaden your perspective. A hawk's keen vision is legendary. It can see from a great height, which gives it an all-encompassing view. It also has the ability to home in on the smallest details. Use your hawk eyes to give your attention to one natural object. Notice something that others might miss. There's a whole lot of stuff other people miss. Good morning, Joe. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. Then imagine that you're soaring high above the scene. How does your object appear different from this vantage point? Ask yourself, what might I realize if I used my hawk eyes to see all of life from a broader perspective? And the quote is by the famous Stephen Hawking. Good morning, Linda. Glad you are here. I believe everyone should have a broad picture of how the universe operates and our place in it. It is a basic human desire, and it also puts our worries in perspective. And I think it puts us in the position of being good stewards for the earth when we have a broader perspective. So we're not so looking at it right here, and yes, we can make a mess out of the earth and expect that she's going to sustain us for generations to come, etc. There was my little 2-second infomercial. But I love this idea of taking a different perspective. It makes all the difference. We did one a couple of days ago where we were looking at different perspectives. Even think about it, and I'm going to do this one again because I really love this one. Think about it with respect to beauty. There's a Deepak Chopra quote that says something like, your experience of a park is vastly different when you stroll through it versus speeding past in your car. So we need to not be speeding past things and actually paying attention to them. So I was noticing yesterday as we were moving things into the house that the lilies of the valley, little pips are sneaking up out of the ground. It was actually, for those of you in the UP, it was actually 75 here yesterday. So I left 40 some degrees and drove into 70 some degrees. So in the dead of summer, I'll probably miss the UP cool, which was very nice. I tend to be between 60 and 70 is kind of my ideal. So I'll just have to keep moving around, finding that, going wherever that is the case. So what about for you? What about in your life? What might be some tiny details, natural or other things, that you aren't quite seeing? I actually want to do a blog post on this one of these days about the same way the fish is swimming in the water and doesn't really realize the water exists. It just is. We need to be bringing our conscious mind online with what actually exists. I just finished reading this amazing book. It's written for youth, but it's called Internment. And it's basically a dystopian little book about how things could go south very quickly in America in terms of alienating groups to the point where they are again interned in camps, just like World War II with Japanese Americans. So we need to have our eyes and ears open. We need to have a bigger perspective. We need to see that humanity as a whole really is only one aspect of the entire cosmos and not be mucking it up so much, right? So broaden your perspective. So what I'd like you to do today is something we did when we were little kids. As you're out and about, maybe not when you're driving, but if it's wide open spaces, you can probably get away with this. I want you to shift from one eye to the other eye and watch how things jump back and forth, and notice what one eye sees that the other one doesn't. Just sit and play with that for a bit. We need more play in our lives, right? And those small little joys that come from engaging in that kind of play, the play of exploring our world. Because as we explore our world and expand our view, I will guarantee you we all become more appreciative and less abusive of Mother Earth and our fellow human travelers. All right? So have an awesome day. I will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you can broaden your perspective because you are capable of far more than you think you are. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.